Did you get that text, speaking of apps, did you get that text that says you owe money on the toll roads?
Yeah, which time? I got it again this week.
Have you gotten them just from Arizona or have you gotten them from other places? Because I've received those from numerous states.
Definitely Arizona.
Allegedly.
Think I got it from California.
Yeah.
Those are the Arizona for sure, and I think California.
Yeah.
I say air quotes because, like you and I both know,
it's not
coming from anybody with any real authority.
Yeah. I have received these from Arizona, from California, and I've been getting the ones from California for a long time, and emails too, claiming that they are collecting the tolls.
Do you think that's because you lived there, or just by happenstance?
No, I think it's because I lived there.
Okay.
And I haven't lived there since, when did I move? I started my job here late 2014, and then my daughter stayed there and graduated from high school, and then my wife left. It was like 26, so it's been almost 10 years since I've lived in California.
But I still get it. But does some record have that you lived in California?
I think so. I think my phone number is associated with it, which is also why I think I get some from the Kansas Department of Transportation.
Oh, that's
because
nice.
Before I went to California, I lived in Kansas. I left there in 2012.
Man, you shirk a lot of toll roads, don't you?
Yeah.
A lot of states. You're just blowing right through.
All over the place.
Man.
I also wonder if, because I've gotten the scams from Oklahoma. I've never lived in Oklahoma, but I did get a ticket in Oklahoma one time.
Huh.
So here's what I'm wondering. So there are a number of websites out there that farm your data, your information. Okay. One of those we sometimes use, and by we I mean I, because I use my father's membership, to look people up. It's called Ben Verified. Mm-hmm. Okay. Ben Verified is a legit site. What it does is it takes all of the different data that it can collect on somebody, and it puts it together. And it says, Joe Huizinga. We type in Joe Huizinga, and it says, who are you looking for, Joe Huizinga? It'll tell me all the Joe Huizingas. And I want to narrow that down. It'll be Joe Huizinga, who is between the ages of 35 and 50. It'll narrow it down. And then it will tell me Joe Huizinga is between the age of 35 and 50. There's one in Colorado, there's one in Wyoming, there's one in Arizona, there's two in Ohio, whatever it is, right? So then it will say, and his most likely email address is this. His most likely phone number is this. And I know this is happening because I will start getting email spam messages addressed to my father. So my email address somehow got associated with some database of information that had his name on it, right? Mm-hmm. So what these sites do is they're data brokers. They start buying information from all the other websites. And you know how that works, right? Every time you sign up for something, a club card or whatever, they're selling your data.
Have you ever tried to look me up on this to see if you can find me?
No, I haven't, but we can.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think what's happening is it just takes best guesses, which is also why I told you I complained about this, that I get somebody named Chris Merrill has a house in the Detroit area. I've never lived anywhere close to Detroit, but I get a request about once a week asking if I want to sell that house. Mm-hmm. It's not me.
Yeah.
But my name is similar enough to the guy's name on that title, and then my name and my phone number. So anyway, I get these text messages. So I think that's what's happening with these scam texts. So at some point, there was a public records, and it said, he got a speeding ticket. This guy who was born on this date got a speeding ticket in Oklahoma. This is probably his phone number that we pulled from a different website. And so then I get in Oklahoma, you owe toll roads.
So it's known as smishing or SMS phishing. SMS stands for short message service.
Texting.
And and it looks something like this. It says, final reminder from the Arizona Highway Department. You have outstanding tolls. Arizona doesn't have any toll roads. Your toll account balance is outstanding. If you fail to pay by April 1st, it's a couple weeks old, but it will continue on. Yeah. You will be subject to penalties or legal action. Pay now. They list a website, and then...
And it looks like a legit website.
And it does. It looks long. It looks a little funky, but it does look legit. And
AZDOT.gov.
And then there'll usually be something after that says like, hey, reply with a Y, then exit. And they want you to reply because then they know you exist. Or they want you to go to the website to enter a bunch of information about yourself so that they can rip you off. So experts advise, if you get this message, do not respond. Delete it and just go from there. You getting a bogus call right now?
How funny is that I'm getting a
That's great.
spam phone call while we're on the
Listening.
air? Yeah.
They want to know if you have the vape.
Do you have the vape? Do you know where to go? Yeah, that is funny that I'm getting a spam phone call, and I'd love to put it on the air, but I'm not going to do that. It's on my cell phone, and also it's illegal. So here's the other thing too, that Social Security Administration is a little bit concerned about potential frauds. Mm-hmm. And so while we talk about some of these frauds, and your personal information is floating out there on the internet, and you didn't even think so, but you signed up for that. You signed up for that card from Fry's. Fry's sold your data. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not Fry's that's sending you these things, but they sold your data because they can make money on it.
No, as soon as you click yes, or you check boxes, or you may not even realize the boxes may just be checked and you just want the deal.
Yeah.
They're going to turn around and likely
sell
your data.
You want your 4 times Fry's points on Friday.
Of course.
Well, they sold your data.
Ah.
Yeah.
Jerks.
So now as a result of that, your information is being used out there, and it may be used by other legitimate places for marketing purposes, but it's being sold to data brokers, and they just sell it to whomever.
Or
that's it.
They can also, one place can give it to a legitimate data broker who can also turn around and sell it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
So
out there.
it's not
they can resell
necessarily
it 100 times.
that Fry's that's selling it. It could be somebody who Fry's gave it to legitimately could turn around and sell it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and they make money on that too.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And it's not just Fry's; it's everybody. It's you sign up for a Walmart thing. You sign up for a frequent. I've got the Home Depot Pro card or whatever, right?
And
It's not even a credit card; it's just a loyalty program.
It's not a lot of money, but if you sell a million of them, it adds up.
Sure does, and that hits their bottom line. But now, the Social Security Administration is concerned about fraud because they got doged. So the agency will now conduct anti-fraud checks on all phone applications, and anyone flagged for possible fraud must verify their identity in person. You may have heard this drama over whether or not they were going to allow phone signups, where they're going to take phone calls about fraud. So Social Security Agency, even though they got doged, is now having to spend some time trying to do these anti-fraud checks on everybody. We will find out, because what did J.D. Vance say? 40% of Social Security is fraud? I don't think that number could possibly be accurate, but I guess we'll find out. They're also implementing a new policy that bars beneficiaries from changing their direct deposit information by phone, which makes sense to me. If you want to change your direct deposit on Social Security, you'd have to go into the office and tell them, here is my new stuff, here's my identity, that sort of thing. And while you may have gotten the toll road scam text, and you figured that out quickly, hopefully you've been able to avoid some of the other top scams that the lowlifes are pulling.
Thanks for watching The Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe, and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.